Hello Octalysis Primers, this is Yukai Chow, and today we're gonna do a pretty special video. And this is the video of the design behind Octalysis Prime. And as some of you know, Octalysis Prime is meant to be the gamified platform to learn about gamification and apply behavioral design into your lives so all aspects can improve your career, finance, your education. And most of you know that I ran a pretty successful Kickstarter campaign, tripled its goals, and we only ran it for 9 days, and it did pretty well. If you're watching this video, you might know that right now we've launched the Octalysis Prime pre-island, which is basically all the content in the community of Octalysis Prime. And so for the past few months, I have been really pushing on the technology platform as well as creating content. But my teammates convinced me that the content itself is already very valuable and people are out there already pay a lot more money for a lot less valuable content. So they persuaded me, and so we launched the pre-island, which is again the content of Octalysis Prime, the videos, but the technology platform, what I'm showing right now, will come most likely in Q1 of 2017. And so we'll see. These days, I am making about 3 to 7 videos a week. There's already about 120 videos on octalysisprime.com, the pre-island. But I think it's a really good idea to at least show you guys what you should expect about Octalysis Prime post-island. What is that gamified platform to learn about gamification? Here's the little case study. So if you are unfamiliar, the Octalysis group method has 5 steps. And these are the 5 steps we do for every client out there. When we do these 5 steps, it'd be finishing a project that's worth about $50,000 to $80,000, just the design part. And so this is a very proven, very effective methodology that I've been teaching bits and pieces in my book, in my blog, and things like that. And again, most of today will focus on step 5, create concept wireframes. Part 1, we'll quickly glide through the first 4 to just kind of set up of what I did for Octalysis Prime. So many of you probably know this. This is the Octalysis Strategy Dashboard. At the beginning of every single project, I have my clients or people I work with define 5 components. Business metrics, the players, the desired actions, the feedback mechanics, which leads to triggers, and the rewards and incentives, which are embedded into the win states. So for business metrics, this is what are the most important business metrics you want to improve with this project. And so you can see my number 1 is weekly active users, and my number 2 is recurring revenue. And I put revenue as number 2 because I think, sure, revenue is very important to keep the business running and growing and sustained. However, that's not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to create value, to change people's lives. As of now, the tagline for Octalysis Prime is lifelong transformation through behavioral design. And so I really think that, hey, if someone's coming back once a week and they're using the site, I believe we're actually creating value. We're continuing to deliver things and making an impact in their lives. And so I'd rather have a lot of people coming back once a week and making less revenue as opposed to a lot less people showing up but I make a lot more revenue from each person. If that was the model I cared about, I would just fully stick to consulting, right? Because each client can pay tens of thousands of dollars, not over $100,000 person. But that's not my goal. I want to touch the lives and transform the lives of a lot of people. That's number 1. And then for users and players, we kind of divided the players and users for Octalysis Prime into 3 groups. 1, Octalysis fans who already care about Octalysis. They like gamification. They've probably read my book and want to learn more. They want to take it to the next level. And 2, general consumers who aren't as interested in gamification by itself. Like, to me, it's fascinating. Maybe to you, it's very cool too. But they're more thinking about, okay, I just want to improve my life. I just want to get a promotion. I want to get a raise. I want to raise my child better. I want to improve my relationships, be more productive, be more healthy. And so they're trying to get the value that Octalysis Prime provides. And then the 3rd group are companies with the objective of improving employee motivation. So maybe the company pays their champion gamification project leader, take this Octalysis Prime and learn as much as he can to apply that in his company, in his workplace. That I think is important, but it's not as targeted for that group compared to the other two. So I put it as number 3. But Octalysis fans, that's my number 1. Number 2 is a general consumer. I want people like Octalysis to have a home base, have a place to grow. So, and then we kind of go through demographics. We don't have to go through a lot of that. Third step is desired actions. So these are all the step-by-step actions you want people to take. And as you know, I divide the experience into 4 phases. Discovery phase. Why do people even want to start? And I listed all the little actions I want people to do. Well, the first step is learn about Yukai, learn about me through my materials, either my blog, my book, my workshops, my TEDx, and watch the intro video, sign up to Octalysis Prime. Onboarding, so I'm like, hey, when you first join Desired Action, watch welcome video, go to the Octalysis building, learn about Octalysis, and I said Udemy or YouTube videos, right? Which later you'll see I had to do a little correction on this. Do a small drag and drop game, etc., etc. Then you move to scaffolding, logging 2 times a week. So I want Octalysis Prime to be like a 2 times a week experience. So and how you design for a 2 times a week experience is different from a once a week experience and different from a twice a day experience. The designs will all be different. I know the business metrics says once a week. That's how I measure success for my part. But I think when I'm actually designing, my goal is design for people to come back 2 times a week. So that's the ideal. Then you have the end game, which is how to engage the veteran players, people who've been there for a very long time. And so maybe they're able to moderate a community. They can create content on Octalysis Prime. And maybe they can participate in Octalysis group projects. So they actually become consultants in gamification, in Octalysis design, and work on all these big brands that we work on. So I think it's interesting that I think people will be interested where doing all this stuff will possibly even result in a career in the things they're learning. So then we look at feedback mechanics. And so these are different types of little elements that can trigger these desired actions that we define. And I kind of like to just go down all the 8 core drive. Core drive 1, you have these feedback mechanics that can trigger desired actions. Core drive 2, core drive 3, core drive 4, the Alfred effect. Core drive 5, show how many friends you have, social prodding. You know, again, these are just brainstorming. This is just kind of listing things out as we go. And not going to spend too much time. We're going to have future videos that just break down every step and go through them in detail. Today, it's about the wireframes. Then incentives and rewards. So just kind of define some of these. So that's the first step. So brainstorming, again, we break down Octalysis into 4 phases because we're doing a level 2 Octalysis design. And so again, back to discovery phase. Why do people even want to try out the service? So usually when we do the brainstorming, it's good to kind of review what are the desired actions we want to motivate people to get on. And then once we review that, okay, then we think about what among those 8 core drives can we use to bring out more of these desired actions. A lot of different little ideas like solve the OP puzzle to win the 7-day free trial. Keep in mind in this phase, every idea you think of, you can just throw it there. Even if there are bad ideas, that's okay. Just throw it here because bad ideas often can inspire great ideas. So just brainstorming, just throw it on. We're obviously not going to do all of that, but as long as it comes to your mind, it applies to the core drives and it triggers desired behavior, you want to throw it there. Onboarding, same thing. We review the desired actions in the onboarding phase, and then we look at 8 core drives, come up with different ideas, go through scaffolding, same thing, review desired actions, different ideas in scaffolding, progress bar to show advancement in each real life subject, etc., etc. And end game design, view the desired actions, and do the brainstorming. So usually after a level 2 brainstorming session, we'll have about 60 to 100 new creative ideas. So the third step is how do you figure out what to exactly do out of those 100 ideas, right? Because, it's like you can't do all 100 of them. So the third step, we put all this 100 ideas on a spreadsheet and we label how powerful this feature is based on, again, how powerful it is to motivate people to our behavior. And then we put down how easy it is to build it. Facial recognition technology, probably really hard. Changing the text to bring out epic meaning and calling, probably much easier. And so finally we have a score that combines those two, and then we can figure out saying, all right, everything above this line we're going to implement in our next iteration. All right, so the fourth and fifth step are about the battle plans and the wireframes. If you remember, battle plan is basically taking out spreadsheets and figuring out the reward schedule, activity loop, and balanced economy. So all of that is really cool and interesting. It's a lot of work doing all those steps, and what it leads to is creating the wireframes. Now that we have all these ideas, battle plan is how everything comes together. So you have the strategy dashboard, the foundation, you have the brainstorming, the creative ideas, you have the product management and figuring out what to do, the battle plan spreadsheet, which is the geeky kind of figuring out all the mechanics, how everything comes together. And finally, we have how it's interfaced with the users, right? What the user sees and feels, the final step in our design process.